Hi everyone, I am VijayaKumar, Assistant Professor in the Department of Information Technology, V.S.B Engineering College, an autonomous institution, Karur. Let me discuss about cloud computing, unlocking the power of cloud. So next, cloud computing introductions. So definitions and introductions. Next, key characteristics and cloud service models and infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, conceptual diagram, deployment models, advantages, limitations, and future enhancement. So next, one by one the slide, we have to discuss all the things. So first one is definition and introductions. So the cloud computing. So the cloud computing is a computing paradigm that enable on-demand access to shared full of configurable computing resources such as servers, storage, network, and applications and services. These resources can be rapidly provisioned and released with a minimal management effort. Instead of owning and maintaining physical infrastructure, users can rent computing resources over the internet and pay only for what they use. So these kind of things only used in the introduction of the cloud computing. So the demand of services will have to be provided by the cloud computing. So if the user easy to rent the server and storage and application also. So whenever you have to use the server, storage and application, at the time only you have to pay the amount. Then the example for the cloud computing means Google Drive and then AWS, Amazon Web Services, and then Microsoft Azure. So these are the example for the cloud computing technologies. The next one, key characteristics. The key characteristics, how to define the 5 kind of things. So first one is on-demand self-services. So if the users that can be needed for any kind of operating systems or storages, server, so applications or any kind of things, you have to need the service provider easy to quick to serve the particular applications or servers. So the second one is broad network access. The broad network access means the whole network easy to access the cloud information. So anywhere, any place in the world. So if you are example for if you store the data in your particular hard disk or SSD means, so be any other failure occurred in your computer system or laptop, so your data will be lost. So if you are storing the data in a cloud means you access any places in the world. So easy to retrieve the data in any places in the world. So if you are only know for your username and password, your credential only you know, so easy to get the information. So the next one is for resource pooling. So the resource pooling means the provider computing resources are pooled to serve multiple consumers using multi-tenant model. The resources are dynamically assigned based on demand. The demand-based, the users or customers, the needed, the easy to satisfied from the services provider. That is called Google Services Provider. The rapid elasticity. The rapid elasticity, the resources can be scaled up or down quickly depending on workload requirements. To the consumer, resources appear unlimited. So for the user needed unlimited means the provider quick to serve all the customers. So that is called rapid elasticity. Then final one is measured services. So the measured service, the cloud system automatically control and optimizes resource usage by metering. The users are billed on a pay as you as basis. So if your rent-based server or application you can buy means, so at that time, whenever you go to use the server or the application, so how much amount of time to use that particular server or application means at the time only you have to spend the amount for the particular applications. So if your To rent the server means to use 1 hour. So 1 hour you have to use the server means at the time in the Google services provider only you have to pay the amount for the 5 rupees. So that is a minimal cost. You have to not buy the server. You have to only rent the server. To rent the server only used in a 1 hour. So 1 hour at the time you have to use the time. At the 1 hour you only spend the 5 rupee per devices. So these kind of things only used in the measured services. Then next one is cloud services model. So in the cloud services, you have the three kind of model. One is IaaS, second one is PaaS, third one is SaaS. So what is IaaS? So IaaS means infrastructure as a service. PaaS means platform as a service. SaaS means software as a service. So these kind of things you have to perform the model in a cloud computing model. Other what is the infrastructure? So if you are only in the using the cloud computing means you over the internet you can access the data using the server and application or storage some classes. So this is called the infrastructure. So the virtual servers and storage network that can be used to compute the data in the over the internet. So by example for your Gmail account, minimum 15 GB data free for every users. So if you are completed the 50 GB storage, so after next move for the premium. So premium means you have to adding some amount of storage to the Gmail account means. So the particular storage you have to spend some amount. That is called infrastructure as a service. Then the second one is platform as a service. The platform as a service means if you don't have a system or laptop for your usage. So at the time you have to rent the system and rent the operating system that can be used to develop the any kind of project that is called platform as a service. So the development platform and runtime, the real-time example for the Google App Engine. The Google App Engine means if your system does not satisfy the user requirement means you have to rent the another one system from the Google service provider. The Google service provider to satisfy the user requirements. So at the time you have to run the virtual machines, you have to use the all kind of things and then perform all the tasks successfully. That is called platform as a service. Then the third one is software as a service. The software as a service means the ready to use application via browser. So if you are rent the applications, so you are not install the application in your current system. You are only rent the system. You not buy the application. You only rent the application. You just whenever you have to use the application, at the time only you rent the application and then just run the virtual machines you have to use. That is called software as a service. These three services are only performed in whenever you have to use it, at the time only you have to spend the amount. So otherwise you no need to spend the amount for all the three services. So next one is IaaS, PaaS and SaaS conceptual diagram. So these are the three services majorly used in the cloud services model. So the cloud services model, infrastructure as a service model means what are the features that can be included in the IaaS. So first one is virtual machines and storage systems and networking components and user has control over OS and application. So these are the components that can be mainly used in the software as a services. So what are the advantages in a software as a services mean? It is a high flexibility and cost reduction on hardware and suitable for startup and testing environment. So the next, what are the example for the infrastructure as a services means AWS, Amazon Web Services, EC2. Then second one is Microsoft Azure Virtual Machines. So this product will be provided by the Microsoft company. Then Google Compute Engine. So these are the three examples for mainly performed in the infrastructure as a service. Then the second one is platform as a service. So the platform as a service means it provides the development platform that includes the operating system, programming languages, databases, and the tools also. So the features, no need to manage infrastructure, faster application development, and built-in scalability. So these are the features that can be used in the platform as a services. So the use cases, what use cases that can be used in the platform as a services means the ideal for developers to build, test, and deploy applications without worrying about hardware or OS. So you are run the particular coding or task in a virtual machines. So the all the data that can be stored in the cloud basis. So no need to fear about the data secure and also the safety. So the real-time example for the PaaS means Google App Engine and Microsoft Azure App Services and then Heroku. So these are the three examples for platform as a service. So next one is software as a service. So the software as a service to deliver the ready-to-use software applications over the internet. So if you are make the applications in a software as a services through the virtual machines mean you go to ready to launch in a host. So at the time over the internet, so any other users that can be used for the specific applications. So what are the features available in software as a services means? So accessed via web browser. So it is easy to access the web browser easily. So no installation required. So it is not needed to the installation needed. So third one is automatic updates and maintenance regularly. So these are the features in a SaaS advantages. So easy to use and low cost, accessible from anywhere. So these are the major advantages for the software as a services. So the real-time example for SaaS means Gmail in your Google Docs and Google Sheets, Salesforce, Microsoft Office 365. These are the example for the software as a services. The next. So the deployment model. So in your deployment model that contains, there are 4 models. So public cloud and private cloud, hybrid cloud, and then community cloud. So what is public cloud? Public cloud means there are, so all the user can easy to access the particular data or information in the cloud. That is shared to everyone. That is low cost. So any other person easy to access the data anywhere in the place. So that is public cloud. So in the private clouds means that is dedicated and also the secure manner. So the each and every user that have a credentials also. So username and password already have a user. The user using the credentials. So if it is authorized person means to only access the private cloud documents. And the third one is hybrid cloud. So the hybrid cloud means both public and private cloud that both are combined into converted for hybrid cloud. So the both cloud. So some of the information that can be accessed by the all the persons. So some of the information only accessed for the particular private organization or institution persons. That is called hybrid cloud. So the community cloud. Fourth one is the shared by the similar organization. So the similar organization means if some cities contains 2 or 3 more number of similar colleges in the institution. If example for the V.S.B engineering college that should be located in Karur and Coimbatore. So both the institution located in 2 different kind of places. So at the time we go to access the both institution data that can be stored in the community cloud. So this the community cloud to store the both organization data. It is similar to easy to access the all kinds of data in the both institution staff and faculty members. So these are the cloud deployment model in a cloud computing. So the public cloud, it is a major features in a public cloud means so owned by the third party providers. So the public cloud that can be provided by the third party. So the third party easy to share the resources and then cost effective. The example for Amazon Web Services and then Microsoft Azure. So both are the real-time example for the public cloud. Then the next section, second one is Private cloud. So private cloud means dedicated to a single organization and then higher security and control that is used by the banks and then government institution. That can be used in the public cloud. Then the third one is hybrid cloud. The hybrid cloud is a combination of public cloud and then private cloud. The sensitive data in private cloud, other data also stored in the public cloud. So it is flexible and also the secure. So next, fourth one is community cloud. The community clouds share among the organizations with common goals. So the example for research institution and then the university is the real-time example for the community cloud. Then advantages. The advantages of the cloud computing means that is cost effective. So if you are spend some server at many number of cost that can be to be used to buy the server. So by example for 1 lakh you have to spend to buy the server. So if the cloud computing server you have to use to means, so whenever you have to use the server at the time only you have to spend the specific amount. That is called cost effective. Then second one is scalable and flexible. The scalable means you have to using over the internet. Whenever you have an internet, easy to access the data in the any places. It is user convenient, it is flexible, also the scalable to access the data. Then third one is high availability. The high availability means, so whenever you have to access the cloud means, you only have an internet must. So if you have the fast internet means, you have to access the data in the cloud computing easily. Then the final one is global access. So if you are logging your Google Drive account in your system, so at the time you have to retrieve the data from your Google Drive using your laptop or your desktop or any other places in a third party systems or any other places in the world. So the global wise easy to access the data, that is the main advantages for the cloud computing. So the next one is limitation of the cloud computing. So the limitation means the internet dependency, then security concern and vendor login. So the internet dependency means, so what are the network you have to be used to access the cloud network. So different kind of network available in the internet. So the public network, private network. So these are the network. The network speed only depend upon you have to store and retrieve or compute the data in the cloud computing. So that is the limitation. So whenever some network have a high speed, at the time you have to easy to access the data easily. So some network have a lower number of speed, at the time the process is very slow. So the depending upon the network speed, that is called internet dependency. The security concern. The security concern means, so in your to provide the security for particular private cloud and then community cloud only. So the remaining network, some of the public users easy to access the data means, some of the users or delete or any other uh, fault data to be performed means, at the time we have to lose the data. That is called security concern. And that one is vendor login and limited control over infrastructures and compliance and legal issues. So vendor login means, so some of the vendor only you have to spend in the cloud computing work. It is easy to access the limited control only. So that is not convenient for the users or customers. Then next, future enhancement. The future enhancement means artificial intelligence driven cloud services. So the artificial intelligence means, though the current technology, all that can be owned in the artificial intelligence. So the cloud services, you can store the data or compute the data in a drive. So the drive contains some credentials. So if you are the authorized person means, you have to access the data and then compute the data in a cloud easy manner. So that is easy to using the huge amount of data in a AI driven cloud services. Then the second one is edge computing and then serverless computing, multi-cloud and hybrid cloud growth, enhanced cloud security and quantum computing and then green computing. So with these kind of things that can be implemented through using the cloud computing for the upcoming technologies. So the AI driven cloud services mean integration of artificial intelligence and then machine learning for intelligence automations, analytics and decision making process. The edge computing, the processing data closer to the source, IoT devices to reduce latencies. Then the serverless computing means the developers focus only on code. The infrastructure management is fully handled by the provider. The multi-cloud and hybrid cloud means the organization uses multiple cloud providers for reliability and flexibility. So the enhanced cloud security means the advanced encryption and zero trust model and AI-based threat detection. Thus are the enhanced cloud security. The quantum computing means the cloud platform offering quantum computing resources for complex problem solving that can be used quantum computing. Then next one is green computing. The green computing means the energy efficient data centers to reduce the carbon footprint. Then finally, only the conclusion of the cloud computing means the cloud computing has transformed the way for computing resources are used and delivered with continuous advancements in artificial intelligence, security, edge computing, and sustainability. And cloud computing will remain a core technology for the future digital transformation. So thank you guys.